A new dad asked me, how do you get anything done while you're this exhausted? Let's talk about it. Let's face it, parenthood has exhaustion built in, whichever way you twist it. I have 3 kids. I'm also the family caregiver because my 8-year-old has mental and physical disabilities. I'm the default parent, meaning I'm the one who gets all the calls when one of the kids threw up at daycare and needs to be picked up and taken to the doc immediately. It is what it is. It's not wrong to feel this way. It is normal to feel this way. But also, you cannot change it. So you have to find your way of living with it in the best way possible for you. One way I deal with the ever-abundant chaos and exhaustion that family life brings about is daily anchors are little actions that are part of a bigger action that you can actually accomplish. So say if your goal for today or one of your goals for the day is to clean the bathroom, let's face it, mostly you're quite sure to not manage that. But you can break it up into smaller chunks and you can say maybe daily anchor for today, number 1 is putting a cleaning pot in the toilet. Next time I use the toilet. Number 2 is when I get into the shower for my daily self-cleaning, I take an old toothbrush with me and scrub the gaps in the tiles for a few minutes. And then maybe anchor number 3 could be switching out the towels, because if you're anything like me, you always walk by the towels in the bathroom and you think they've been there for like more than a week. I really need to switch them out, but then something comes up and you never do it. The more family members you have, or the more people that are in some way dependent on you, the fuller your calendar will get. So the second thing that I do on a daily basis to work while I'm exhausted, energy stacking basically also means doing tiny things during the day that feed into me, things that get me excited, that give me positive feelings, that make me feel good in some way. And nope, it's not the second piece of chocolate cake. For me personally, it's writing. But it could also be reading a single page. It could be brain dumping ideas that have been floating around in your head and that you just feel like you need to get them out. You can rearrange your plans. You can throw away old clothes that you haven't worn in ages. Whatever it is, anything counts as long as you do it at least once a day and it is something that feeds into you, that gives you energy. Yes, of course, initially you have to invest a little bit of time and energy, but you will get more time and energy back because the activity is something you like so much and you crave to do so much that it will actually give you energy, make you forget your exhaustion momentarily. Therefore, will also give you more time because it makes you actually wake up, but in a much better way than the 3rd cup of coffee in a day. And it lets you do anything else with a mind and a body that is fully awake for a short amount of time and therefore faster. The 3rd strategy I want to touch on with you today is protecting your voice and your identity. This means doing something that lets you remember who you are or who you want to be, that lets you remember that you are not a milk bar with a head and legs, that you are some kind of zombie sitting in a cubicle all day long. You are still a human being with feelings, wishes, desires, and all of that deserves time and space. Again, there are many ways to do that. You can listen to your favorite music for a couple of minutes. You can just go outside. Even if you don't go for a walk, you can stand in front of your door and breathe with closed eyes for 1 minute. Every little thing helps. For me, again, my go-to thing is writing. I get up very early in the morning. I have to facilitate my disabled daughter's school schedule, but I'm getting up even earlier than I have to. So I have 20 minutes first thing in the morning to write whatever I want to write, because that is just my go-to thing. That it doesn't heal everything, but it just keeps me going. It is what I could do on my lowest days when I was depressed and I was denied professional help. I retreated to writing to get anything inside me moving again. It is what I did when I breastfed for the 20th time at 2 a.m. in the morning. I was hunched over my baby in the feeding chair, as I called it. I would get out my phone to stay awake so I wouldn't fall out of the chair with the baby in my arm, and I would just write. Now, those were just 3 quick ideas of strategies that I broke down in more detail in my book Time and Energy, which I wrote for exactly this reason. How to start a side hustle or a passion project when you're constantly overworked and burned out, whatever your reason is. If you want the full breakdown, go to the description box. The link is there. You can get the instant read PDF, or you can order the print on demand paperback. Or if you can spare a few bucks, you get both and support the author. Because what you need to remember is, as I've said in the beginning, exhaustion is built into parenthood, but proving yourself through collapse isn't the way.